Simba versus Shere Khan, a battle of Disney's biggest cats. Today, I'm going to compare both of their best feats and scalings to find out who would win in a fight. Don't forget to subscribe. The categories we'll go through are strength, speed, durability, battle IQ and combat, and finally, AP. So let's get started with strength. Simba's best strength feat he showed himself was sending lions back with some swipes. A female lion weighs between 270 to 400 pounds, which basically means that he is sending back at least 270 pounds with one swipe from his paw. Shere Khan's best strength feat he showed himself was easily lifting Baloo. Baloo is a sloth bear which weighs between 175 to 310 pounds, but he's depicted as way larger than the actual size of sloth bears, as he's roughly 6 to 7 feet, so he should be around 450 to 600 pounds instead. That was based off of their feats alone. But now, let's look at their strength using scaling. To upscale Simba's strength, we need to use the Zazu scaling. If you don't know the Zazu scaling, basically in the I Just Can't Wait to Be King song, he demonstrates good levels of durability and strength. For example, Zazu is able to move a giraffe and a zebra and hold up a rhino for a couple seconds. The hyenas are able to outstrength Zazu, and Simba is able to outstrength the hyenas. Now, people have said that this scaling chain is a little iffy because of a couple of reasons. One of the main reasons I've heard is that these feats are presented in a song, and with Disney songs, a lot of the time the things they show don't actually happen. But we know this actually did happen since at the end of the song, Zazu is actually underneath the rhino. The second main reason that it's a gag, and it's just supposed to be funny. But you can't just count out a feat because it's funny. For example, Alex the Lion going through cactus and sharp rocks is supposed to be funny, but I'd still consider it as a feat for his endurance. The only time you wouldn't count stuff as feats is if they're inconsistent, and Zazu only really loses to other characters which would just upscale them. For more consistency, Zazu is also able to survive the birdie boiler, which is this many degrees. Now let's calculate this thing. Zazu lifted the female black rhino for approximately 1.3 seconds. So, on a low ball, if the hyenas are just 2 times stronger than Zazu, and Simba, on another low ball, is 2 times stronger than the hyenas, then Simba would be 4 times stronger than Zazu, meaning that Simba could lift 1 ton for approximately 5.2 seconds. Shere Khan gets his strength upscaled from Baloo as he is able to physically overpower Baloo, and Baloo can't stop Shere Khan when he is holding on to him. Baloo is able to hold up some of the ancient ruins temple. We know he is because when he stops holding the temple, it falls over. The reason why this scaling is a bit iffy is because it's a bit inconsistent since Baloo is shown to be stunned from stuff that's a lot weaker, and yes, the temple feat is also a durability feat, because if you're lifting 1,000 tons over your head, then you have to have enough durability to not have your bones be instantly crushed by 1,000 tons. Now, it's hard to find the scale for the temple since we only see a part of it, but we do have this wide shot of the temples to see how big they are. And if we assume that one of the temples they lifted was 100 feet and made of stone, then it should definitely get to 1,000 tons, as regular 100-foot tall buildings weigh between 1,000 to 5,000 tons. And Baloo held the temple for about 3 seconds. But as shown, Baloo only lifts half the temple. So instead of lifting 1,000 tons, he's lifting only 500 tons, but I mean, that's still a lot. So whether we use feats shown or scaling, Shere Khan should take physical strength here. Visually speaking, Simba just is shown to be faster in more of his shots, and lions can go up to 50 miles per hour. Shere Khan doesn't really have great speed feats. The best that we can give him is the fact that Bengal tigers can go up to 40 miles per hour. Overall, Simba just presented better feats, and lions are just said to be faster in real life. For Simba's blunt durability, he's able to survive decent falls and attacks from other lions, and for his piercing durability, he didn't have that many marks from hyena bites or thorns. For blunt durability, Shere Khan is able to survive a giant fall in the second film, although he's not shown any good piercing durability feats. That was their durability feats alone, but now, let's look at their durability using scaling. Time to calculate this. Buckle your seatbelts, guys. Zazu survived getting ran over by an elephant. To calculate this feat, we need to figure out how much force was on Zazu. So the African elephant weighs about 6 tons, and for its speed, it traveled 7 Zazus. And Zazu is a red-billed hornbill, which has an average length of 14 inches, and 14 times 7 is 98 inches, or 8 feet in 0.54 seconds. 8 divided by 0.54 is 14.81 feet per second, and converted into miles per hour is 10.1 miles per hour. Now we have to calculate momentum, which is mass times velocity. So that's 5,443 kg times 4.51 meters per second, which is 24,552 kgms. And the time of the impact was 0.05 seconds. Now we need to estimate the force using the impulse formula, which is change in momentum divided by elapsed time, which is 24,552 divided by 0.05, which is 491,040 newtons. To convert that into joules, we need to find the crushing distance. Red-billed hornbills have a height of about 42 centimeters, and you can see the height of his beak when he's crushed, which is 3 to 4 centimeters. So let's go in the middle, which is 3.5 centimeters. 0.42 centimeters minus 0.035 meters is 0.385 meters. And 491,040 newtons times 0.385 meters is 189,050 joules, which in conclusion means that Zazu has wall-level durability. That was a lot. Scar is able to knock out Zazu with a single paw swipe, and Simba is tanking hits from Scar. Note that this is an older version of Scar, but I doubt that he's significantly weaker than he was in his prime. King Louie isn't fazed from the weight of the temple on him. And yes, King Louie holding the temple is a durability feat, because if you don't have enough durability to withstand the weight, you would be crushed by it, and King Louie was completely fine. Time to do more calculations. Someone help me. King Louie is able to hold the entire temple for 2.37 seconds before it falls apart. So King Louie endured 1,000 tons of weight on him for 2.37 seconds. So if we convert the mass to force, that would be 907,000 kilograms times 9.8 meters per second squared, which is 8,888,600 newtons. And since Louie was compressed about a meter, it would be 8,888,600 joules. For reference, that is over 47 times more joules than what Zazu endured. Since this is also a low ball and he did it for 2.37 seconds, this should get to small building ranges. Baloo is able to stun King Louie in one hit, and Shere Khan is able to endure a hit from Baloo and get up pretty easily. Overall, from feats or scaling, Shere Khan is superior. Simba does spend most of his life eating bugs, but he does throw hands with Scar in fights with other lions and hyenas later on in the movie and in the sequel. Shere Khan is a hunter, so he should know most weak points on other animals. Overall, Shere Khan probably knows more about fighting since he's been hunting his entire life, but Simba does have better hand-to-hand combat based off of feats. Simba is able to hurt Scar, who survived this fall. Shere Khan is able to knock Baloo out in a few hits, and Baloo is able to survive getting hit by a giant rock on his head. Now for the scaling. Simba should be relative to Scar, who can knock out Zazu in one hit. Shere Khan can knock Baloo out pretty easily, and Baloo felt no pain holding up half the temple. So overall, Shere Khan just scales higher as Baloo's feats is more impressive than Zazu's. So for this matchup, Shere Khan has better strength, durability, and AP, while Simba has better speed, and they are roughly equal in battle IQ and combat. So I have Shere Khan winning this, as he has enough AP to knock out Simba in a couple of hits, and his durability is so high I don't see Simba doing any real damage. Except for maybe piercing, but I don't really see that happening either. If you guys couldn't tell, this took a lot of calculations and brain power to get this video through, so if you guys could just like and subscribe, that would be pretty awesome too. Let me know if you guys want to see any more in-depth long-form videos, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.